Jeebies.
Chapter 2. As Erica slept, the anger boiled inside her, twisting her dreams into something cold and dark. A nightmare. Erica dreamt that she was back in her kitchen with her family. Her parents were fussing over Randall, just as they did in real life. "It's always like this, isn't it?" whispered an invisible voice. Erica looked around, but there was nobody there. "They always take his side, don't they?" hissed the voice. Erica nodded, blinking back tears. "How does that make you feel?" asked the voice. "Angry," muttered Erica. "Yes," comforted the voice. "I know. So give in to your anger. Use it as strength." Erica felt a rush of heat swelling up inside her. The voice was right. Her parents were always taking Randall's side over hers, and it wasn't fair. But she'd show them. Erica felt the heat intensifying. She felt herself give in to the anger. Then a powerful vibration tore through the ground, and Erica felt the strangest desire to laugh. "No!" roared the voice in her head. Then it vanished. The kitchen scene melted away, and Erica found herself standing in a clearing within a forest of rainbow-coloured trees. A nearby river flowed backwards over a gleaming emerald cliff in a spectacular reverse waterfall. Above Erica's head, impossibly bright, metallic leaves sparkled and glittered in the shimmering light. This was all very peculiar. The last thing she could remember was the argument at home. Then there had been that strange voice, and now she was here, wherever here was. Erica had the strangest sensation that she might be dreaming. A fish rode past on an old penny farthing bicycle, wearing a black coat and a large top hat. It nodded politely and said, "Good day." Erica stared at the fish. Since when could they talk or ride bikes? And that was ignoring the fact that it was wearing clothes and wasn't underwater. That settled it, thought Erica as the fish pedalled away. She was definitely dreaming. Erica shifted her weight from one foot to another. The ground felt light and spongy. When she tentatively hopped up and down, she found that she bounced whole meters into the air. Erica grinned. After taking a larger jump, she was catapulted across the whole clearing. She landed on one of the higher branches of a semi-transparent tree, laughing uncontrollably. For a moment she sat there, marvelling at this impossible world stretching out in all directions. Just as she was wondering how she would get down, the branches of the tree knitted together into a slide, which spiralled all the way down the tree trunk, and Erica slid safely to the floor. "I wish I never had to wake up," she whispered under her breath. But she was distracted by a rustling, snuffling sound behind her. She turned to see it was a small, furry creature. Brightly coloured vines were curled and knotted around its arms and legs, binding it tightly to the ground. The sight of Erica's face peering down made it squeal. It was about the size of a large rabbit, or a small dog, or a really, really big mouse, and it was covered in soft fur. Two little ears poked out of the top of its head, and a tail waggled around behind it. It had stubby legs, short arms, and a lot of pointy little teeth in its wide mouth.
"Heebie,
said the creature, warily. Erica blinked. She stared at the curious creature, and then it spoke again.
Jeebies.
"Sorry? What?" she asked, leaning forwards. "I don't understand."
"Heebie,"
came the reply as it wiggled furiously around, but the more it struggled, the tighter the vines became. "Oh, you're stuck." Erica reached down and untied the knotted vines. She tried to help the creature up, but it yelped so loudly that Erica panicked and accidentally knocked it over. In return, she was bitten on the arm, hard. "Ow!" shrieked Erica. "You nasty little beast!" She looked down at the bite mark on her arm. A strange light glowed around the edges of the wound, but it healed almost instantly, and the glow faded away. Strangely, her arm wasn't actually hurting anymore, but Erica was still very cross. "What did you do that for?" she muttered. "I was only trying to help, and you bit me."
Heebie,
said the character quietly. "Oh, I don't even care," ground Erica. "Just leave me alone." The creature stared at her, its mouth quivering, large round eyes gleaming with unshed tears. "Fine, I'll go." Erica turned and stomped briskly away. She hadn't got far when she felt something tighten around her middle, pulling her backwards. She looked down, feeling her stomach with her hands, but there was nothing there. She walked more forcefully and was able to cover a small distance, but it was slow going. A loud wail of
Heebie,
rang out behind her, and the creature burst into tears. She span around to see it being dragged across the floor, arms and legs waving frantically in the air. She stopped, and it stopped, as though an invisible rope were tied between them. Somehow, the two of them were connected. Erica scowled. Well, this was just perfect. The creature sprawled unhappily on the floor, an astonishingly long purple bogey dangling from its nose. This was exactly the sort of thing that Randall did, except his bogies weren't purple. Thinking about her brother gave Erica an idea. Whenever he was upset, it was usually to do with either food or sleep. She looked around to find the creature something to eat, and she saw a tree nearby with tin pineapples growing on it. "Okay," said Erica, walking over to squat down in front of the creature. "I'll get you something to eat, but you've got to come along with me." She placed a hand on his arm. "And please stop crying." The creature sniffled and blew its nose on the back of its arm in a loud and disgusting way. But at least it had stopped wailing. "So, do you have a name?" Erica asked. The creature muttered,
Heebie,
very quietly. "Your name is
Jeebies.
The creature shook its head crossly, and a speech bubble appeared in the air. It had pictures inside of it. A cartoon eye floated next to a mouth, which moved up and down and had pictures coming out of it. Erica giggled. "Cool," she said, "but what does it mean?" The creature gave Erica a withering look. Once again, the speech bubble appeared, but this time it just had the mouth and the pictures in it. The more Erica looked at it, the more it looked like the mouth was talking. "Talking pictures," said Erica slowly. "You speak in pictures?"
Heebie,
said the creature, sounding much happier, and a nodding head appeared in the speech bubble. "So, what's your name then?" asked Erica, smiling at the funny looking creature. A speech bubble appeared, with an indecipherable series of squiggles and patterns in it. "Right," Erica shook her head. How about I just call you..." She peered more closely at him. "Beastling. You look like a beastling." The creature shrugged, but didn't seem to disagree. "Okay, beastling," said Erica. "So, how come you're all alone? Don't you have any friends?"
Heebie,
said Beastling sadly, showing a picture of lots of creatures just like him wandering off and leaving him trapped in the vines. "They left you behind?" asked Erica. Beastling nodded, and his eyes grew larger and shinier. "I'm sorry," said Erica, as she led him towards the tinned pineapple tree. "Shall we get you some food then?" She pulled down a tin and was about to open it when she realised that Beastling had found a large rock to munch on instead, his mouth chomping quickly up and down. In no time at all, the stone was gone, and he set to work on a fallen branch, devouring it in seconds. Erica watched in astonishment as Beastling ate. A strange glow gleamed from his mouth, and once he had eaten all he could, a surprisingly large amount for such a small creature, he yawned and lay down to fall asleep, burping bright bubbles into the air. Erica scratched her head. If she moved while he was asleep, it would wake him up. He might start wailing again, and she was very keen to avoid that. If only she had some way of carrying him around with her. With a gentle a rucksack appeared from nowhere. Erica looked at the bag suspiciously. Where on earth had it come from? It had lots of little air holes sewn into the fabric and seemed perfect for carrying Beastling. Delighted, she picked up the sleeping creature, placed him in the bag, and set off to explore. Soon, Erica came across a clearing where beautiful crystal formations hovered in mid-air, chiming with faint tinkling melodies, while plants and flowers pulsed and glowed in time with the music. Incredible, she whispered under her breath. As Erica walked on, she noticed that some trees had been stripped of all their leaves, and a lot of their branches. In some cases, only a gnawed stump was poking up above the ground. It looked like the mess that Beastling had left behind after his snack. There were even places where a large chunk of the ground had been gobbled up too, leaving a blank, grey nothingness. Erica picked up a stick and threw it towards the nearest patch of grey, but the stick vanished as soon as it made contact. Something about these voids made Erica feel uneasy, and as she walked on, she saw even more of it. Next to one huge expanse of the greyness, she noticed a remarkably unremarkable structure. A battered old garden shed, with wooden walls and a torn felt roof. It looked very ordinary, which immediately made it seem out of place. Erica frowned. After walking around it a couple of times to check it was safe, she tentatively opened the door and stepped inside. She saw a collection of old plant pots, a battered deck chair, and some garden tools scattered about. She also saw a pair of eyes watching her in the gloom. Well, actually, 2 pairs of eyes. A pair of pairs of eyes. She could just make out a squat, heavy-looking individual made entirely of lumpy bits of stone, and a boy who looked to be about her size. But any similarity between them ended there. Instead of being solid, he was formed out of purple shadows, which became fainter and fainter as she looked down his body. She couldn't see his feet at all. Erica's heart thudded in her chest as the shadow boy turned to his companion. "I think she can see us," he whispered. "Nonsense," exclaimed the stone man, thrusting a small electronic device in the boy's face. "Look, the readings are all correct." "Yes," said the boy slowly, pushing aside the screen, "but all the same, I think she can see us." "Of course she can't," said the stone man. "She's only human." "I know that," said the boy, "but still." "And what exactly makes you think that?" asked the stone man irritably. "Because she's pointing at us," replied the boy, "and sort of making a gasping sound."